Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I am over the moon excited to share with you 20 DIY Dollar Tree Christmas decor crafts. So this is episode 6 in my huge I Love Christmas series. I love to share with you guys how you can make your home's boutique gorgeous on a budget. Now, all of the crafts we have done so far are going to be compiled into this one video. So all you guys have to do is press play and get so much crafting and decorating inspiration. And hey, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, it's totally free. Subscribe and punch that bell. Click all. It will update you every time I post a new video. I post several DIY videos a week on YouTube as well as several a day over on Facebook. So you guys join me over there, join my free little group page. It's for sharing photos of your home decor and DIY projects because I love to see what you guys are up to too. Hey, but without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting.
For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how you can take one of these Dollar Tree snow caps or stocking caps, hats, snow hats, and then take one of the cute little Dollar Tree just play balls. These are just kid balls from the kids section, and you can scoop the snow hat over the kids ball and then take a little hair tie, like something you would use to tie your hair up in a ponytail, or you could also use a rubber band and just tie that at the top. What we want to do here is create a jumbo sized ornament. So these are so fun. I know if you guys like to do a really big display for Christmas with your Christmas tree, you will really enjoy using these because they're going to fill out your tree quite a bit. Now you can get as fancy with this or just leave it fairly plain. So here's what it kind of looks like just with the stocking cap kind of pulled over it. I decided to go a little bit of an extra step and take and add some bows around it. It almost ends up looking kind of like a kissing ball, but you just take your ribbon, you loop it over on itself, and then tie your ribbon off in that center part, and then just glue it around, and you can do as many or as little as you want. And then I'm also using this little Dollar Tree planter pot thing to hold my ornament upright. That way I can work on it and it doesn't wibble wobble around. It was doing a lot of wibbling and wobbling, and so I was like, oh, I gotta fix that. So I'm just tying this little piece of ribbon off at the center. I'm going to give the bow a bit of a fluffing, trim it off, and then again hot glue it up underneath the little ball of the hat. So these are super fun and cute, and Dollar Tree has a ton of different stocking caps to choose from. The other place you guys can find stocking caps are at the thrift stores, but you might want to jump in on what they're putting out right now. They put out their fall and like Christmas hats and sweaters, scarves, and all of that kind of stuff really early. So to kind of get the pick of the litter, you may want to be checking for them in your stores now. Now what I did was I took apart a little Dollar Tree greenery piece, and I'm just using the greenery pieces to pop in to the top of this. Reason being is because I don't have like a lot of evergreen out right now, so these greenery pieces are going to kind of have to do. So here is how it turned out after we added the little bow topper and the greenery and all of that good stuff. I think it looks really cute, kind of popped into this little display. And again, these are just so fun and easy to make. And right now they do have out the Dollar Tree bouncy balls for the kids and also the hats, at least in my store they do. So I hope this gives you guys some idea also on how you could kind of repurpose things and make them super fun. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how you can repurpose some of your extra Dollar Tree signs. So this sign is super adorable. I actually bought 2 of them because it's a great square to craft on. So I'm just taking and tracing out and cutting out this cute little piece of paper from Hobby Lobby. It's kind of supposed to meant to be a little bit shiplap. And so I kind of want to do this little cute little farmhouse style sign. I want to share with you guys how you can take some of your fall decor and kind of begin to transition it into like fall, Thanksgiving, and into Christmas. So I wanted to make a really neutral, cute little sign. So I'm taking this Thankful and Blessed wood sign from Dollar Tree and just using some stain. I just stained at the front of it. Now I'm going to hot glue these little back pieces, and you just have to hot glue a couple spots really because it's easy to get it like overly gluey. And so I just added that to the front of my little sign that I Mod Podged that paper on. I didn't Mod Podge the outside of the paper. I just Mod Podged the paper onto there. You could always seal it with another layer of Mod Podge on top. The next thing I want to do is make a cute little bow. So I'm using this Dollar Tree ribbon, and I just took and trimmed it off, and then I'm going to kind of squinchy it up, and then this is just going to be the tails for my bow. And then I'm going to add a cute little bow to the center, and that's just, again, another piece of ribbon that I looped over on itself, tied it off in the center. And now I'm going to add in some greenery, and these are just lamb's ear pieces of greenery that I trimmed off from another project. I have so many projects going all the time, you guys. And then I'm just taking some of these little mini pine cones. So Dollar Tree set these out, believe it or not, in the middle of the summer, and I loaded up on them. I grabbed like 2 or 3 bags so I would have some to craft with, and I went through in this crafting session like about half the bag. But anyway, I'm just adding in some of this cute little greenery and really kind of just fancying it up. Of course, this step is totally optional. I just think it's fun to get kind of detailed. You know, this might be something you find in a little cute little home decor store, and really it only cost a couple bucks. Plus, it's repurposing any of the extra signs that you bought. I don't know why I'm so crazy. I always buy so many Dollar Tree signs, and I only use at least half of them. But here's how it looks kind of popped in to this setting. I'm kind of doing a transitional DIY video here for you guys, showing some Christmas, but more of a neutral, I guess, with a little bit of pops of red. That way you guys can start thinking about Christmas without it being too bam in your face. But I thought this was really, really cute. Thankful and blessed is just a great reminder sign for any season. Really, this can transition. You could do something different in the center, not the pine cones, if you wanted to make it even more neutral for a future. I always just share with you guys so many ideas on how you guys can do things on a total budget. I hope you're loving it, and happy crafting. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super easy little Dollar Tree wreath. And again, we're looking at doing kind of some more transitional decor, moving from fall to Thanksgiving to Christmas. So I'm just going to take this little styrofoam Dollar Tree wreath and then some of this Dollar Tree ribbon. I hot glued one end of the ribbon to the inside of the wreath, and now I'm just going to gently wrap it around the wreath. You can do this without hot gluing along the way if you very carefully just add each piece kind of at the edge of the next one. Does that make sense, you guys? Because you still do want the lace to show. And this just took one of the whole strands of the Dollar Tree ribbon. I hope that makes sense. I think it's about 6 to 9 foot long. I want to say it's the Dollar Tree ribbon is 9 foot long. Bingy Bear, my puppy dog, actually got a hold of this ribbon and completely unwound it from its roll. Does that ever happen to you guys when you're crafting? Your pets get a hold of your craft supplies? Anyway, that's why it's off of its roll. But I'm going to share with you guys a clip at the very end of this video too of how funny he was. So just continue to wrap it around the entire wreath, and you'll have a tiny bit left over. You can trim off, use as scrap for another project, or you can make a little hanger with. But again, you only have to hot glue that one spot. So this would actually be a fun idea for you to do with pretty much any age. I mean, really for only $2, you have just a cute little like wreath form. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, I'm taking this Dollar Tree Buffalo Check Plaid ribbon. This is actually the fall ribbon, but I used it a lot last season for Christmas crafting, and I'm already using it again. It's just so adorable. I think there's just something so cozy about the Buffalo Check. I think it really goes nicely, honestly, for any holiday, but I'm kind of a little bit more like I'm not even for sure that I'm not really a country girl. I like shabby chic decor. I like kind of farmhouse, romantic, I guess, but I do love the Buffalo Check. It just reminds me so much of how my mama decorated, you know, back in the 90s and whatnot. So I took, and I'm using my Easy Bow Maker, and I'm making this cute little bow. So I made it about a 4-inch loop on either side. That'll be 8 inches if you guys are just doing this by hand. And then I made the next one a little bit smaller. So the next one's about a 3-inch. And when I say inches, the Easy Bow Maker has like little inch things that you can go with. So I did 2 loops for the first one and then 2 loops for the second one. I'm just going to tie it off in the center, trim that off, and then add that to my cute little wreath. And honestly, this is just a fun, easy one to do. And I was even thinking these would be fun and easy to do if you were wanting to give a quick little gift to a friend, or also if you wanted to use these in your Christmas tree. I think that would be an amazing idea. I love to go over the top and use like a lot of bigger decorations, but if you guys notice, the really big decorations that are jumbo are really expensive. So I'm trying to think of ways that I'm going to be able to fill out my tree without kind of breaking the bank. So I tied that on and I just trimmed it off. And then of course you guys can be done here. I think the bow looks super adorable. Give it a nice good fluffing. And then I'm just taking some of this greenery. This is actually, I think, more summertime greenery, but I honestly just got my Christmas boxes down. They are piled high in my studio. I've got to organize them and start to pick out where things are at. And I also thought this might be nicely transitional for, you know, kind of before Christmas. So you could pop these easily into some of your displays now, because the wine color with the fall ribbon would actually go really nicely, in my opinion, without it being too fall or Christmas. And then, you know, anyway, you could add in some, you know, Christmas greenery to this regular greenery. So anyway, I thought this was just a fun, easy idea. If you guys need a quick and easy little project, here's how it looks popped into my little setting. That little pretty cardinal pillow was actually from Walmart last season. It was only $5. I thought it was a great deal. But I really think that I'm going to do at least one tree in some really pretty neutrals with some pops of red and some cozy factors. So for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take some of these little mesh tubing pieces and I'm just going to take them and loop them over on themselves and then tie off the center. I'm using one of those little Dollar Tree white ornaments, and I want to attach this to the top and just make like a little fun, you know, fluffy little ornament. I think these again are fun to make because you can do so many things with them, and you can make your mesh tubing even fuller by just taking it and wrapping it over on itself some more. So I'm just taking it and looping it over on itself and then tying it off when I feel like I've got enough loops on there. And then I'm just adding a little dibble dabble of hot glue to the top part of the ornament, and then some cute little pine cones. And then you guys could really call it good here. Now I did keep going with it. Of course, you guys know me. I like to go super crazy and over the top. And I added in some of this cute little greenery just to kind of give it a nice little fun pop of color. It's a little bit limey, honestly, but I don't know. I thought it looked kind of cute. A bit of an accent, I suppose. And I could always add in a little bit of a lime bow along the way eventually if I wanted to. But again, just kind of sharing with you some transitional fall decor. And if you always see this mesh tubing at Dollar Tree and you wonder, what in the world could I do with that? This might be a fun little idea for you guys. So I'm adding another little loop-de-loop of bows to the back, and then of course some more greenery to jazz things up. And this could almost be like a kissing ball, but you guys can make several of these and give them as gifts, or just use them for your Christmas tree and just customize the colors of the ornaments and tubing to suit your fancy. And here is how it looks popped into this cute little setting. I think that this is going to be so fun, popped up against some cute little red and white striped ornaments, or you could go neutral or just with your greens and whites. And again, you guys could change out the tubing and the little greenery pieces for whatever suits your fancy. So fun and fabulous on a total budget. For the next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super adorable little pumpkin ornament. So you can take some of your extra pumpkins. I did kind of overbuy on some of my pumpkins, and I'm just going to take this little fabric and cover it up. So this is kind of a fun idea. You guys can take really pretty much any shape or size of a ball, or you could even just take some fabric and stuff it with some stuffing and then tie it off at the top, and that can make a super adorable little ornament. Now these you guys can get really creative with and really customize them to suit whatever tree color that you're going to be decorating with. So this could go for neutral, you could do black and white, red and white, really whatever you love. The next thing I want to do is take this Dollar Tree ribbon and loop it over on itself and then kind of tie it off in the center, and that's going to create a little bow. And then you guys can hot glue those to the top of your little ornament and kind of make it into kind of like a kissing ball, but more of just like a little fancy fluffy ornament. And you're going to want to make several bows to go around the top of your cute little ornament. And then the next thing I wanted to do was take some of this mesh tubing and just kind of loop it over on itself and make like some little curly cues for the top of the ornament. You guys could also just use regular ribbon for this spot as well. So you're just taking it and looping it over on itself and keeping it kind of pinched in the center, and that's going to create all these cute little kind of little bubble bow ties. And really get creative with it. You guys use as many as you want or as little as you want, or just totally skip this step as well. But these are just a fun idea for how you can fill out some of your ornaments. And if you're ever wondering what to do with the mesh tubing, this is also like a fun little easy way to give your crafts some fullness. The next thing I did was hot glue the little topper with the mesh tubing to the top of my cute little ornament, and then I'm adding in just some little decorative pine cones to the top of that. So you guys can get totally creative. You could go glam and add like some little pearls or whatnot, but this is just such, again, a fun little easy craft and makes it really cute and fancy. And I've also done these where you just use like ribbon and whatnot. So get creative with it, have fun, and go for it. Now, the secret question for this video is going to be, when do you start your Christmas crafting? I need to know what month. Drop a comment down below and let me know. Is it too soon for you guys? Are you guys ready to do some Christmas crafting? I make the majority of my decor handmade, so it does take a while to kind of get ready for things if you're doing a lot of your DIY ornaments. Now, here's a little culprit of what I had. Bingy Bear had somehow gotten a hold of a roll of one of my ribbon, and you guys can see how guilty this little stinker is. Look at his little eyes. He knows he's in trouble. He doesn't really get in trouble, but I do take whatever he's got from him. First at Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to make a super adorable Dollar Tree Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay, so at Dollar Tree, they're carrying the most wonderful little Christmas cutouts, and I wanted to share with you guys how I took this one and made it into a super adorable little Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And you guys can hang these in your Christmas trees or pretty much put them out anywhere. And these are totally kid friendly. They're actually all age friendly. So I'm just starting out with some brown paint, and I did kind of mix it down with some white paint, and I'm basically just giving the entire thing a base coat. And you guys can see I drew on some kind of wonky eyes. So the best way that I've found to draw on kind of like the cartoon eyes is just go to Pinterest and Google cartoon reindeer eyes or cartoon animal eyes, and that'll give you guys all different kinds of options on what to kind of copy, and also give yourself some grace. Like, I remember when I first started trying to do eyes, and I still don't feel like I can do them very well. You'll see in this video that you just have to kind of give yourself grace and go for it. Don't be afraid to try them. So I'm going to go ahead and line the outside of the eyes with some white and then color them in with blue. I have blue eyes, so I felt like my Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was definitely going to have some blue eyes. And then you can color it in with some black. But again, I'm just using kind of a Pinterest template, and you guys can just kind of sit back and relax and watch me paint for a sec here. So now with this reindeer, I'm just going in with this kind of larger fan brush, and I add a little bit of white paint to it, and I'm just kind of giving this reindeer some dimension. I kind of like my painted projects to have a little bit of whimsy and dimension. And so you guys can easily do that with some whites and some blacks. I did take private art classes when I was younger. I'm not sure that I learned a whole super ton about painting. We focused mostly on charcoal and pastel art, but a lot of what we did learn was, adding highlight and texture and blending. So I mean, this is my interpretation of what this Rudolph the reindeer might look like. You guys go for it. Just break out some paints and have fun with it. I always try to encourage you guys to not be afraid with these Dollar Tree $1 signs, because honestly, they're $1. So grab some paint. Walmart carries the Apple Barrel Craft Paint brand, and you guys can really just kind of go to town with it, have fun with it, get creative, relax. It's such a fun thing to do. Really just break out some paints, put down like a little underlayer over wherever your table is that you're working on, and just have fun. So also for this reindeer, I added the little red Rudolph nose. This is definitely going to be a Rudolph, and you can see I'm really trying to play with these eyes. They didn't turn out the best, but hey, I'm going for it, and again, giving myself some grace. And here is how my super adorable Rudolph turned out. Oh my goodness, this was so fun to tackle, and I hope you guys are encouraged to tackle a cute little Rudolph head of your own, or you could make it into like a little farmhouse deer. You would not necessarily have to do the eyes. You could just do it, you could even do like a modern farmhouse twist on it. Now I'm getting so many ideas and wishing I would have bought 2 of these, but anyway, so fun and fabulous on a total budget. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to show you guys how to make a super adorable little Farm Fresh Christmas sign. So I'm actually taking one of these Farm Fresh signs from the fall season and this little Dollar Tree calendar. Thank you, Stacy. Shout out to you, girl, for sending me this calendar. But I just pulled out the December page which said Farm Fresh Christmas trees. And I'm just going to take some Mod Podge, and I'm going to lay a heavy layer of Mod Podge down on top of this sign. Now, listen, I usually try to buy 1 or 2 of the Dollar Tree signs for every season, so I promise you I have another one of those cute signs for my fall season. But check out how adorable this turned out. Okay, I love this calendar, and I'm just going to take also and add some ribbon to the top of it, kind of fold it over, and then make a cute little bow. So you can make a bow by folding the ribbon over on itself, pinch it in the center, and then hot glue it to the front of your sign. Of course, this is totally optional, you guys, but I love to go over the top. So add some bows and some zhuzh and just make it super adorable if you like. You guys know, again, I love to go super over the top, but hey, so this obviously is optional. Now, I did try to make the bow small enough to where you guys could see the Farm Fresh still on it, and then I added some cute little tiny pine cones into the center of the bow, and then I decided to kind of cascade a bow down and around the side of it, and I will kind of loop it and link it in. You can zhuzh that bow, and don't forget to dovetail your ends, and then you guys have a fun and fabulous little sign. Listen, I see cute little signs like this out at TJ Maxx, and this was only a couple of bucks. And if you guys can find some of those fun little calendars, go for it. Or you guys could do an easy little Farm Fresh printable. Just go to your Google spot on your computer and Google Farm Fresh Christmas tree signs, and you should be able to find something really easy. And then, as you guys can see, I'm just putting a cute little piece of ribbon across the top of this, and there you have that. So really, these are so fun and easy to make. I love to pop them underneath my Christmas tree. I can't wait to share with you guys how I'm going to decorate my regular living room Christmas tree. Oh my goodness. And don't forget to let me know how you guys are decorating your Christmas tree down in the comments below. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super adorable little Dollar Tree pumpkin snowman. Okay, so take one of these little Dollar Tree stacked pumpkin signs and turn it into a snowman. I laid down a layer of chalk paint first, so it's gray chalk paint, and then I added in the white chalk paint. The reason I used the gray is because that's the only chalk paint I had on hand. Somebody send me some white chalk paint, please. And then I'm just taking some of this white house paint and kind of swirling it and making it into a cute little snowman. I also laid down some glitter, so it's like a white iridescent glitter on top of that. The next thing I'm doing is making a cute little snowman hat with this Dollar Tree scarf. So you just take and make a snowman hat by trimming off the top part of the scarf, pull it over, hot glue it to the back of it, and then you can also make a cute little scarf for your snowman that will match its little hat. Oh my goodness. These are so fun and fabulous to make. And you guys can get so creative with them. Just use some fun little buttons to make your little button here. So on my last video, you guys go check it out. I made a cute little boy snowman. So this is going to be the little girl to go with it. And get creative. Dig into your craft stash, add some bows and buttons, have fun with it, and just go for it, you guys. Now I'm just going to take some of these cute little snowflakes and I kind of like pulled them apart and added them as arms, painted them, and here is how she turned out. I need to share with you guys a picture of my cute little romantic she snow lady and he snowman, but we're using pumpkins and some of my fall and Halloween decor to kind of repurpose and reuse and make these super adorable little Christmas crafts. Listen, I love to share with you guys how you can make everything boutique gorgeous on a budget and how you can repurpose and reuse some of your extra fall and Halloween decor. It's what I love to do. I hope you guys are loving it. I hope you're totally inspired to craft and decorate on a budget. And honestly, I'm really surprised at how much I'm kind of vibing towards these neutrals with these pops of reds. We'll have to see what I can see at Hobby Lobby. I promise you guys I'm going there this weekend and we are going to see what there is to really go for. I need to make a decision on my main living room tree this season. I love y'all, and drop some comments down below and let me know, what are you decorating with this year for Christmas? I really need to know. Is it going to be country? Is it going to be farm fresh? Is it going to be glam? What do you guys have going on? For this next DIY, I want to share with you guys how I took one of the Target Dollar Spot gumball machines and I had recreated it and made it into like a fall gumball machine by painting it gray. I'm kind of regretting that now that I want to do a Christmas gumball machine, but I'm taking some of the Dollar Tree vase filler, popping it into the top, and hey, we are going to roll with it. So here is how it looks, and I'm going to take some of this cute little burlap kind of ribbon. This is also from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to create a cute little bow. So you just take the ribbon, loop it over on itself, pinch it in the center, and then tie it off. And that's going to make a cute little Christmas gumball machine. I'm also going to have my eye out for some red little beads to put in the center of this, but it seems like I'm really gravitating more towards like a neutral farmhouse Christmas. We will see what happens. I have multiple spots I'm going to decorate with, so I'm just going to hot glue this to the front of my gumball machine, and then I'm going to add in some cute little bows. If you guys want to craft and decorate on a total budget, go to Dollar Tree and get some of these pre-made bows. I love them. The little bows off to the right of me, if you're looking at your screen, the red and green ones, you guys are going to love these. They're so great for making finishing touches on. So I'm just going to take and add those to the center part of this bow and also to the top. Okay, so now I have this cute little bow on. I'm just going to add a little detail bow here to the center, and then I added one to the top. And again, you guys can just get so creative with this and have at it. Really choose the colors that you love. I did also add one of these cute little peppermints to the center. This is another thing to go ahead and grab. If you see the little mini peppermints out and about at Hobby Lobby or any of the craft stores, grab them. We are going to use them in some upcoming DIYs. So here is how it looked, just kind of snugged up into this neutral kind of farmhouse chic decor. I am loving it. Again, though, I still think like some little cute little
For the
red,
next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super adorable, large, fluffy Dollar Tree bow. Okay, so from Dollar Tree, you're going to take some of their glitter red ribbon, and this ribbon is so glittery. It has so super a whole lot of fallout on it, but I will tell you it works great for some sparkly bows. So you're just going to take it and loop it over on itself, and I use the entire roll. This is going to be a 14-inch bow. It's going to be a really great tree topper. You can also use it in wreaths or garlands or whatever suits your fancy. And I'm going to take it and cut tiny itty bitty tiny notches in the center, and then I'm going to take another ribbon, and this I chose the burlap because again I'm kind of trying to do like a sparkly but more pared down farmhouse look. And again, I'm going to take it and loop it over on itself, and then for this one I'm going to do 12 inches. So you do 12 inches back and forth, you find your center, you pinch it in the center, and then again you just kind of notch it out. And a lot of you guys ask me, what are the notches about? Well, the notches help the ribbon kind of grip, and so you guys can really pull those loops out really well. And I've really tried it both ways to where if you don't use the notches, you can reuse the ribbon. So this is just a little side note. You don't have to do this little notch part right here, but if you do the notch part, again, you can reuse the ribbon. But if you do the notches, your bows are going to be so much more fluffy and elegant and just amazing. And hey, this is a $2 bow. So I'm going to take and I'm going to stack it on top of each other and then just pull those ribbon loops out. And you do want to try to choose ribbon that is wired. Now, this sparkly ribbon from Dollar Tree, you're going to find a ton of it, you guys, and it is really pretty terrible ribbon. It doesn't hold up super great as far as like being a high quality ribbon, but it works if you just want to use something cheap and inexpensive. It does fray a little bit around the edges, so just be careful when you're doing your fluffing, and that's kind of also why I love to put it in the back. So dovetail those ends. Do not leave me hanging on the ends of your ribbon. It's really important to give a beautiful presentation to your bow. You just take the ribbon, fold it over, and then cut in an upwards notch. And then there you guys have that. Fluff it out really nicely. And I added this cute little Dollar Tree gnome to the top, and there he is kind of sledding down the Christmas tree, having so much fun and giving it a whirl. So you guys, as always, I ask that you comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating. I love to hear what you guys are up to. I love to know absolutely like what everybody has planned for this upcoming holiday season. Thank you guys for being here, and I hope you guys are having so much fun crafting and decorating on a total budget. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait for our next video. And I also am going to insert a cute little clip of BINGE Bear. So you guys know how BINGE Bear loves to help me craft. Well, today he decided to get into my ornaments, and there he is. Oh my goodness, that little guilty face just gets me every time. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all a fun little hack that you can do using the Dollar Tree pumpkin cutouts. So you're just going to take and hot glue them one on top of the other, and it's going to create a snowman shape. So if you're like me, you may have bought just a couple too many pumpkins, this is a great way to repurpose and reuse some of that fall decor. Now, I'm going to take and paint the entire thing. I laid down a base coat of spray paint, but then I needed to go over that with some white paint. You can use chalk paint, any paint you have on hand will do. And then I just added a light little dusting of some of this Walmart white iridescent glitter. And now you can see I have the cutest little snowman. Now it's time to jazz it up and zhuzh it up. I'm going to take one of these cute little Dollar Tree stocking caps or
hats, winter hats, and I just flipped the bill a little bit inside, like up, so it would fit down on top of my top snowman. And then I'm just using these little Dollar Tree pom-poms. You can find them in a giant pack, tons of colors to choose from, and I used one of the orange ones and I cut that in half and I kind of pulled it out to make the little carrot nose. You guys could also just use some felt or even some craft paper would work as well. And then I'm using the mini pom-poms to create my little coal mouth on my snowman. And just dig into your craft stash. I know you guys have plenty of stuff to create a fun little snowman. These are just some felt little faux buttons that I'm using. I think I pulled them out of a project from last year. And then you can take one of those little Dollar Tree snowflakes, cut it in half, and create some cute little arms. I'm using popsicle sticks to put on the back of the snowflakes. That way the arms aren't all floppy. You could also use some real little pieces of wood or just whatever suits your fancy. I kind of wanted to try to tie in the blue on the button with the arms, but I hope this gets you all inspired to kind of craft and have fun. Now, if you don't have the little pumpkin cutouts, you could always just use some round cutouts. That would work as well, but really get creative and go for it. The next thing I decided to do was take one of these little Dollar Tree scarves. My sweet friend Stacy actually sent me this cute little buffalo check plaid one. This is in the Dollar Tree winter hat and scarf section, and I'm just cutting a little tiny piece out here, and that's going to create my snowman's cute little scarf. And listen, you guys can use any little scarf that you might have on hand. Dig into your stash. If you're like me, you have several little scarves laying around that could be easily repurposed and reused, or just use a cute little piece of fabric. Walmart has those little crafter fabric squares for 98 cents. You could grab some at your Hobby Lobby or just use an old sweater. That would work as well. So here's how Mr. Snowman turned out, popped into this cute little winter setting. I think these are so fun to make, and I hope you guys are inspired to create something amazing for your home. I feel like snow people or snowman or snow ladies are really great for honestly every season. As soon as it starts getting cold out, you guys can pop those snow babies out. You can leave them out even after Christmas. So these are some really versatile crafts for you guys to do on a total budget. So for this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how you can take one of these little Dollar Tree snow people and make a cute little shelf sitter. So I love these because these already come with like a little template to kind of apply the eyes and nose. And even though I'm painting over it with white paint, you can still see the little template underneath the white paint. It may be kind of hard to see in the video, but I could definitely still see it. So I still had a template to paint on my eyes and my nose. And once I had the entire thing painted white, I'm using this little smaller Dollar Tree wooden snow person decor piece, and this is what I'm going to use to attach my like little limb snowman to. I hope that makes sense. But first I want to take and I want to make kind of a cute little Mackenzie Childs inspired check hat. So I'm just taking this black marker and I'm freehanding some black and white checks on here, and then I'm doing stripes on the bill of the hat. So really, you guys could really paint these whatever color you love. You don't have to do the black and white, but I do love the black and white, and I'll tell you guys why. Well, number one, I love Mackenzie Childs inspired DIYs, but I also love it because it's so versatile. It's almost something you could set out as soon as the snow comes around, depending upon where you're at, until after the holidays. But again, just have fun with it, get creative, use whatever colors you love. And I'm just changing to a smaller paintbrush and just using some of the little Dollar Tree black. I believe this is chalkboard paint that I'm using. So I painted the hat with the black and white checks and the stripe bill. And then I'm painting the little boots, giving him some black boots to kind of match his hat. Now you guys could get a little more fancy with this if you wanted. And then I decided to go ahead and go in and paint the eyes. But for this, I'm actually using that fine tip. This is just a marker. I didn't want to mess it up and I wanted plenty of control. Now I'm going in with some orange paint to paint his cute little carrot nose, and then there you guys have that. I decided to go with some gray chalk paint for his scarf, again kind of trying to make it a little bit more neutral. I was going to go in like all Christmas and red, but because I want to be able to set this little guy out early, I thought it'd be cute to kind of go with some neutrals for that. So anyway, but you guys have fun with it and get creative. You can really customize these to suit your fancy and your decor. And I think these would be a really fun craft to do with your kiddos or your grandkids, or if you're just like me and you love to craft. Now, I decided to detach the body from the head. Okay, don't get scared here, guys. I promise he's going to go back on. But I'm going to hot glue his body to the front part of the snow person, and then I hot glued the head back on top of the body part. But we didn't want a floppy head here, and we want him to be like a little shelf sitter, something that you could just kind of sit around anywhere, because I didn't really need him to be hanging, although you could honestly hang him and put him from a Christmas tree or a cute little window or whatever suits your fancy. He'd go awesome in a wreath. He's a great little size, super lightweight. Here is how he turned out. I hope you guys are inspired and are totally loving it. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take a Dollar Tree 8x10 frame, and this was actually a cute little frame that I had put some Mackenzie Childs paper in, and I'm just going to pop the paper out. I'm going to set that aside because I'm sure I'll use it for crafting, but my sweet friend Stacy sent me this amazing little calendar, and so I wanted to use the Let It Snow because then it can go along with my little snow person theme. So these are so amazing, and Dollar Tree puts out so many different calendars, and I'm so thankful that she sent me a bunch of different ones to choose from to craft with, because I honestly have not found any of the fun little calendars, but I haven't been into Dollar Tree quite as much recently. I've just been really busy with all of my fall crafting, so sometimes I'll miss things, and I was really excited for it to find this calendar. So I'm just going to trace out the Let It Snow part with kind of the little paper template that I already had, and then I'm going to trim the edges off. And this is such a great, inexpensive way to create wall decor, home decor, on a total budget. So, I mean, if you think about it, a calendar has 12 months in it, so there's 12 prints to choose from. You can change them out for every season and just find a cute little spot to put it in. I'm putting the glass back in and then popping my calendar back in. And I know this DIY is really easy and kind of a little bit of a no-brainer, to be totally honest with you guys. But sometimes I think we need these easier DIYs that are less messy and just fun and can come out really, really pretty, because Dollar Tree's frames, they've got some really neat little frames. Now, this is just a pretty basic one, but look how pretty and classy this is. I love the gold because the calendar thing had like a little gold thing popped in, and I would probably pay $10 for this at TJ Maxx. I think it's really beautiful, classy, and hey, we did this for a couple bucks, and voila, we have a cute little craft, a nice little decor piece on a budget. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of the Dollar Tree wood cutouts, and this is one of the Snowflake ones. Now you guys could totally paint this white, glitter it up, but I decided to go with kind of like more of a neutral farmhouse gray. I've got my elephant gray chalk paint here, and honestly, I do need to run to Walmart and see if they have the white chalk paint in. I'm really going to need more of that. But I thought I would do something just kind of different with this, make it kind of whimsical and different and fun. And so I'm just going in with the elephant gray chalk paint, and I only had to use one coat. You guys can chalk paint both sides or one side, whatever suits your fancy. The next thing I wanted to do was I wanted to take some white paint and kind of mix it in and give it a little bit of dimension. So you could also go white with gray, or you could go gray with white, kind of like I'm doing here. So I'm just taking my brush and I'm kind of making like some swirly strokes to give it a little bit of movement and some dimension. Now, as you guys can see, as I take the white paint and kind of swirl it and work it into the snowflake, it's getting a little bit lighter. So that gray was a little bit too dark for me. I really wanted it to be just kind of more whimsical and light and bright. So I'm just swirling it in, and the gray actually isn't even dry all the way. So I'm just really kind of lightening the color. I really love that farmhouse gray, or it's more like a repose gray, which is actually the color of my walls. I'm thinking about what my theme this year for my Christmas is going to be. So that's going to be the secret question for this video. Drop a comment down below. What is your Christmas tree theme going to be? Now, last year I did a huge candy cane themed tree, which I love all my candy cane ornaments, and I'll definitely be putting one that has candy canes up somewhere in my house, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do the same thing as like my big living room themed tree. So you guys are going to have to give me some inspiration. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Dollar Tree sponge, and it's just a little round sponge. These are so great to make polka dots with. So I'm just taking some white paint and making some cute little polka dots on this snowflake, which pretty silly to have a snowflake with polka dots. I just thought it would be so super cute and fun and whimsical. I love polka dots. I think this is a fun idea. But you guys definitely let me know what your theme is going to be. Do you love to do like a winter wonderland? Are you going to do candy cane theme? Are you going to go for farmhouse, glam, shabby chic? Oh my goodness. And what colors are you going to be using? Now, I am doing a $100 Hobby Lobby gift card giveaway, and I'll leave the details of that in the description box below so you guys don't want to miss that. Now, to give my polka dots a little bit of dimension, I'm adding a tiny bit of black paint. And so this is going to be just kind of more like neutral chic little snowflake thing here. And I also had to pop in a cute little picture of our Benji bear. Oh my goodness, he is so cute when we get home. He just lights it up, barking and loving on. At this Dollar Tree DIY, I'm so excited to share with you guys a super adorable little gnome sign. So what you want to do is find any old Dollar Tree sign. I have a ton of them. I always buy a couple of these extra large signs. And then I'm just going to take this cute little Dollar Tree. It's a super soft, cozy scarf, and I'm going to trim it down to the size of this sign and then glue it to the front of this sign. Now, you guys could totally just paint the sign and do like a little buffalo check plaid pattern, or really pretty much anything that floats your boat. But since I already had the scarf on hand, thank you, Stacy. She is my girl, sending me some goodies my way. I thought, hey, let's make it a cozy sign. Is there such a thing as a cozy sign? So anyway, I'm just going to hot glue the edges, trim that out nice and good, and then hot glue that cute little gnome to the front of this sign. Okay, so you can totally stop here, or you could add, you know, some little lettering at the top, but I had to go super extra. I shared with you guys how to create like a door hanger sign in one of my last videos for Halloween, and I used a beware sign. So this time we're going to use just a little ring from one of the Dollar Tree wreaths, and we glued that to the top of the little sign to make the door hanger part. And then I'm going to take and I cut 2 rolls of the Dollar Tree deco mesh, and I happened to find this buffalo check plaid deco mesh. This was actually from last season, not sure if they'll have it this year, but red mesh will do as well. And so I used 1 roll of the buffalo check plaid mesh, and you're going to cut it about 12 inches long, and then you're going to bundle 3 of the little curly cues together, and then I'm just using pipe cleaners to pipe cleaner on to the top part of the door hanger. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But you just basically, you take your 12-inch rolls of mesh and roll them together like a little burrito, nice and tight, and then zip tie them onto the top of your door hanger. Now, I decided that I felt like it needed a little bit more brightness and red because the gnome hat was kind of bright and red. So I used another roll of the Dollar Tree deco mesh, and I just chose the red, and then I went every other one. So 1 bundle of the buffalo check plaid mesh, and then 1 bundle of the red mesh, and you can kind of scoot it back and forth on your little door hanger. And again, the mesh part is totally optional. But the next thing I wanted to do was make a cute little Dollar Tree bow. So I'm using some of this buffalo check plaid ribbon. This was from fall. And I did grab a couple of rolls, so I had some to use for Christmas. I did that for last year too, and it worked out so perfectly. But I'm using my Easy Bow Maker, and I'm just going to make a 5-inch bow on either side, and then I'm using this cute little Dollar Tree burlap ribbon. And again, I think this was like 5 inches as well. And then I also added a 6-inch bow to the back, and that's going to be the red. So when I say 6 inches, that's on 1 loop, so it's 10 and 12 if you're using your Easy Bow Maker, or just make a cute little bow. Hey, go for it. Okay, now the next thing thing I wanted to do was take and add in some of this little, it's kind of like that Dollar Tree, they call it mesh rope, I believe, or mesh tubing. I'm using that to tie my bow on because then you won't be able to see the zip ties, and you can have this cute little pop of mesh tubing, so it gives your creation a little bit of dimension. So these are just some fun ideas for you guys if you love to craft and decorate on a budget and repurpose some of those Dollar Tree signs and use some of that Dollar Tree mesh you may have floating around in your stash. Now give your bow a nice good fluffing because it'll kind of get, you know, flat down in there. The next thing I did was add some of these cute little Dollar Tree Merry Christmas signs. I feel like they're putting out so many good things right now. And then I'm going to add a cute little snowflake to the bottom. So here is how it turned out. I popped it into my wild little gnome display, and I think it's looking pretty cute, pretty fabulous on a budget, you guys. I hope you're inspired to make a nice little soft, fuzzy, cozy sign. You don't have to necessarily use the same stuff I use, but just a fun little inspiration for you guys. So fun and fabulous on a budget. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to take and use this little Dollar Tree stocking, and this is a cute little stocking, $1 at the Dollar Tree. It looks like a cute little gnome. What I want to do is create kind of like a fancier stocking just by stuffing it with some stuffing, and so this is going to be more of a decor piece and less of, you know, a stocking that you're going to throw a bunch of candy in. This is just a fun little idea for you guys, and you guys can really take any Dollar Tree stocking and make it into kind of this plush stocking idea. So I am going to hot glue the top part of the stocking together. That way all that stuffing kind of stays in and you really can't see it. So you're just going to add a little dibble dabble of hot glue on the inside of this and press it nice and neat together. And then there you guys have your sealed up little seamed stocking. Now I wanted to add a cute little bow to the toe of my stocking, so I chose this pretty little glitter bow, and I just made it with some of the red Dollar Tree glitter ribbon. And then I'm taking some buttons. At the checkout stand, Dollar Tree has like little tins full of buttons or plastic containers full of buttons. Grab those. They're great to Christmas craft with. For only $1, you guys get a lot of buttons on hand. Now I'm taking and I'm making a quick little ribbon bow. So you just take the ribbon, loop it over on itself, and pinch it in the center, and that's going to create a cute little kind of tuxedo bow. And then I'm taking some longer strands of ribbon here, and this is the sparkly ribbon, and I'm just going to tie that on to the center of the bow. Easy peasy, and this is a fun little way to really jazz up a stocking. I did stockings like this in my Etsy shop. They weren't from Dollar Tree. I actually made the stockings handmade, and they were like really shabby chic and over the top fabulous, but they were stuffed and they were so pretty to use on your mantle. So that's just an idea for you guys. You guys can actually kind of make these just out of really pretty fabric. If you have some ornate Victorian fabrics or, you know, pretty fabrics that you love, or if you just find a really super adorable $1 stocking like this gnome stocking, these are just a fun way to kind of jazz up your decor. And it's also a great way that you can take and make your Christmas decor cohesive. So say you have a really beautifully decorated tree and you have a pretty mantle done, you can take and add stockings that are like really pretty and fluffy and full and jazz them up, and that can make everything in the room flow together. I hope that makes sense just by the different bows you're using and the different colors there. So I hope you guys are inspired to make a full fluffy little stocking, or you just had fun watching this video. No matter what, I just want you guys to keep up the good work crafting and decorating, and gnomes are definitely where it's at right now for the season. Now if you don't care for the gnomes, that's okay. They'll have all the Santa Claus and gingerbread and all that good stuff out, but for this video I just thought I'd share with you guys some fun little gnome ideas. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to make a super adorable Santa Claus hat using one of those Dollar Tree witch hat wreath forms. So from the Dollar Tree, grab one of the witch hat wreath forms, and then you can take some red deco mesh and using a zip tie that little spot at the top, and then just take and wrap the mesh around your Santa hat. Now listen, you do probably want to glue as you go along the way, otherwise your mesh will have a tendency to kind of ruche up, and you really don't want that. And I did end up using 2 rolls of the deco mesh to cover this entire witch hat turned Santa hat wreath form. So just a little FYI there, you may want to have a couple rolls ready in your arsenal. Now, I usually do all white deco mesh for the brim of this hat, and I am cutting these in 12-inch cuts, but I only had 1 roll of white deco mesh I may have it somewhere else and don't know about it, but I used 1 roll of the white mesh and 2 rolls of the gold mesh. I thought, okay, we'll make it kind of a country Santa hat. So what you want to do is in between your fingers, you're just going to kind of take and pinch those little pieces of mesh. And again, they're 12-inch cuts, and you want to bundle 3 together. That makes a pretty nice little bundle package. And I also cut my pipe cleaners in half. You can use zip ties as well, but the pipe cleaners will do nicely. They're inexpensive. Now, I think that they don't hold quite as tightly as the zip ties, but now I have more pipe cleaners than zip ties. So anyway, you just want to tie your mesh bundle on to your little Santa hat wreath form. And I kind of eyeballed this. I kind of start close to the brim of the hat and move my way up and then move on to the other side because I didn't quite have as much mesh as I really needed for this project. So side note here, if you're going to do this project and you have it in mind, grab some extra mesh, okay? But sometimes for these crafts, I'm just going to roll with it and kind of give you guys more of an inspiration. And we're going to kind of make it, a country Santa hat. We're going to pretend like it's not just a yellowed Santa hat here. Okay, I'm kind of cracking myself up and it's really not that funny, but continue to add in bundles and bundles of your mesh until you get to the end. Now you can always add in some ribbons, and to be honest with you, the brim of this hat is a little large for Santa. It's kind of like Santa turned witch. I don't know, but it turns out pretty cute in the end, and I'm going to hang it in my dining room, probably on the little dining room door or somewhere fun, but anyway, continue to add those little bundles, get those nice and tight on there. And then once you have that done, you can whip out your ribbon and make a fabulous bow. Okay, so from the Dollar Tree, I'm using this red sparkly ribbon. It has a ton of fallout. It's super annoying. It gets everywhere, but it's super pretty and sparkly. I'm going to take my Easy Bow Maker and I'm going to make a 6-inch loop. So the loops are 6 inches, but it's 12 inches on either side. And I'm just going to press that down onto my Easy Bow Maker and then trim this up and off. And I'm starting out with the red sparkly ribbon, and then I'm going to move into the red buffalo check plaid ribbon, and you're just going to kind of pinch it on one end, push it down into that center prong, and then move it onto the other side. And on this YouTube video, I am going to leave a link in the description box to my big bow video. I do really, really big bows as well without the Easy Bow Maker. So, you guys go check that out if you need a little bit of help making bows. And I'm also going to be posting bow videos on my Facebook page and my Instagram as well, and probably over on TikTok. My goodness. Anyway, add some more sparkly ribbon, get jazzy with it. I do like to start eventually, gradually kind of pulling my ribbon a little bit smaller on each loop. That way there aren't loops buried behind the ribbon. But for a project this large, you do want a larger bow because the bow is going to kind of nestle down into the mesh. I hope that makes sense. So I did multiple layers because I really want the bow to take center stage, be nice and fluffy. Now, the way that I did my witch hat for Halloween, I just did 3 ribbons and then I added 3 bows to the front of that. But for this, I just kind of wanted to keep it a little bit more chill and just do a really large boofy poofy bow and see what I thought about that. So also don't forget to dovetail the ends of your ribbon. Super important here. We don't want to make this gorgeous project and then not take care of those ribbon ends. So by dovetailing the ribbon, you're just going to take the ribbon and pinch it. You're actually going to fold it over and then cut that triangle in an upwards direction, or you could do like a slide cut as well. Any way that you cut it is fine, as long as you don't leave it all kind of like just uncut and raggedy. Okay, now that you have your giant fluffy bow and it's probably too much for your hand to hold, you're going to take a zip tie and you're going to zip tie it onto the base top part of your Santa hat. So just find a little spot on there that you can kind of zip tie it on and go for it. And you can really choose the placement anywhere you want. And then the next part, you're going to fluffy up that bow. Do not forget to fluff your bows, ladies and gentlemen. And I decided I thought it'd be cute to add this cute little gnome just nestled down inside of Santa's hat. I almost feel like they're like a kind of like a gnome elf on the shelf with their little striped, PJs and hat. And I just took some of this mesh tubing. I also added the mesh tubing to the center of the bow to give it some dimension. And I just tied my little gnome. I tied him around the waist, and there he was. He sat so cute on there and is so dazzling and so perfect. Now, I wanted to make the top part of my Santa hat cohesive. I always like to do a little cute little bow. So you just take the ribbon, loop it over on itself, pinch it in the center, and then you can add that to the top. And zip tying it is really best. I've tried to hot glue these before and they really have a tendency to kind of wobble off. So zip tie that baby to the top of there, trim it off, call it good, and then I'm going to pop this little pom-pom because Santa Santa has to have a pom-pom, a little cute little Santa hat ball on the top. And boom, there you guys have a pretty fun little fabulous wreath on a total budget. Hopefully the country style ribbon blends in with the yellow on the white of the Santa hat. And you guys can give me some grace for that. I think it turned out pretty darn cute anyway. But hope you guys are inspired to make a fun little Santa hat of your own, and that you guys are also having fun with this. Now, if you didn't find the wire wreath form at Dollar Tree, you may want to check Hobby Lobby, and also they have the tinsel hats as well. So you guys can use that just as well as you guys can use this larger one, and it'll save a lot of mesh probably. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make the most super adorable chillin' with my gnomies little gnome pillow. Okay, so this is a Dollar Tree tea towel, and they make the best little throw pillows. So you're just going to take and you're going to flip it inside out and begin to glue along the seam. You want to glue as closely to the seam as possible without burning your fingers and without not getting glue on the seam. That way you'll have more of the pillow and it'll look nice and kind of, it's not going to look super professional, but it'll look a little bit better. And plus you don't want to cover up your chillin' with the gnomies little lettering there. So glue really close to the seam, press it down really nice and good. And then once you have that done, you want to inside it out because you have to have room for your stuffing. I left a pretty good little hole there. You could close it up a little bit on that one end if you want. And then you want to take your fingers and kind of poke it in to the ends. And that way you don't have like any little funny ends. And then you're going to take some pillow stuffing and you're going to just start stuffing this. You could also use, Walmart bags if it's just going to be a throw pillow. I know people have said that they do that. I'm just using some old pillow stuffing, and I'm going to make sure that I get it nice and full and fluffy and cute because I love a good, nice, fluffy, cute pillow. So keep on stuffing, keep going. Now, the fuller you get it, the harder it's going to be to do this last part. I will tell you that, but it usually works out in the end. So what you want to do is just going to want to take it and pinch it and just barely fold each end under, and then very gently and watch your fingers. Oh, this part can be a killer. Start hot gluing the pillow back together, or you could just glue those seams and not worry about making like a pretty seam on the end. Either way honestly will work. And I've done it too where you can take like some cute little trim if things get sloppy on the end and trim this out, because Lord knows I get sloppy with my crafting. And so anyway, again, just fold those little ends under, pinch it there, and then once you get to the end, you should be good to go. Now, I love to add pom-poms to the ends of these. I just think they make it really, really cute, and it's a great little kind of kids decor piece, honestly, especially if you don't want to go crazy decorating every single room for Christmas, adding a cute little throw pillow. And this is like $1. If you've got an old pillow laying around and you've got some cute little doodly dads, you guys are good to go. So I hope you guys are loving this and you're inspired to make a cute little fun pillow. And you could really make any little pillow from any tea towel. Check Walmart. Walmart's going to have some 99-cent tea towels as well. They're going to be holiday tea towels, as well as Dollar General. Hey, don't count Dollar General out. They have some really fun little Christmas goodies. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to take one of those little Dollar Tree signs. And this is just kind of like that, it's not really wood, but it's more of like that pressed wood. And I'm going to take some of this chalk paint, and these are fun to do, but they can be a little bit frustrating getting into those little crevices on the inside if you're using chalk paint. So you want to have, a sponge brush that is going to be tossable, and then also like a paintbrush that you can like kind of get in and around at the little nooks and crannies on. And so anyway, I chose this elephant gray chalk paint, and I'm getting down to the bottom of this. I really need to go to Walmart. I keep saying this every video, I swear, and grab some white chalk paint. Hopefully Walmart's still carrying it. I honestly don't ever go in there anymore. So anyway, I am just going to make this really cute and make it really nice and chalk painted up. And then I'm going to add a nice little layer of white paint to kind of dust on there. Okay, so now that we have it nice and white and dusted on here, you guys can add some glitter, or you can add in some like cute little bows to the top, or really whatever suits your fancy. I ended up adding like a nice little kind of light layer of this iridescent glitter. You guys can get it at Walmart in the craft section, and then that's just going to give it kind of a little bit of sparkle and shine. And I think it's kind of nice to have something in here that's a little bit more demure, since there's so many pops of reds. And so I think that this nice little touch of gray is so perfect. Or you could do blue or red, just whatever floats your boat. But peace is such a great reminder for this season. And anyway, as always, I ask you guys comment and let me know, what was your favorite DIY in this video? Which one will you be recreating? And check it out. Here's our favorite little pupper dog, Benji Bear. He was causing a commotion in the backyard. His girlfriend lives in the backyard, and so he just goes nutsos barking. And then here he is playing with this little rope. He loves y'all, and I'm so thankful to have you guys here. Hey, also look out for my new giveaway.
So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is a true blessing and an honor to have you all here. If you all are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home. I'm a DIY crafty mama, and I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a budget. And for all of you that have joined me here and come back and love on me, thank you guys truly from the bottom of my heart. It is such a blessing and honor to be able to do the things that I love and share them with you guys. And this community is truly amazing. There are so many wonderful people here, so many kind comments. So let me remind you guys, just always be kind and keep up the good work no matter where you're at crafting and decorating. Give yourself some grace, because I know everybody is at a different spot in their journey, and I truly feel like crafting and decorating is so good for your heart and soul. We are going to have so many fun DIY crafts and decor ideas and projects in this upcoming season, so you guys don't miss out on that. And also don't forget to pop over to my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. I have a free group page if you guys want to share photos of your home decor and DIY projects, because I love to be inspired by you all as well. And I know that you don't necessarily have to post. You can just, check things out over there. It's totally free. So anyway, I love y'all to them and back. I'm wishing you a gorgeous, blessed day. That's my puppy dog, Benji Bear. And I can't wait for our next video. And until then, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.